Welcome to Healthier Daily. I'm Dr. Ben Carter. By the time you hit age 60, you have likely already lost up to 13% of your total muscle mass. By age 70, that number jumps to 30%. And after 80, most seniors have lost nearly half of the strength they had in their youth. This is not just numbers on a page. This is the difference between walking with confidence or being afraid of every uneven sidewalk. It is the difference between lifting your grandchild or struggling to lift a gallon of milk. Now, for decades, doctors like me have told you the solution is simple. Eat more protein, eat more eggs, eat more chicken. We told you that animal protein was the gold standard. But what if that advice is actually backfiring, especially at dinner time? What if that heavy steak or that 3-egg omelet you eat in the evening is not building your muscle, but actually creating a toxic cleanup job that stops your body from repairing itself while you sleep? Today, we are going to talk about a biological reality that the meat industry does not want to discuss. There are 3 specific, humble, plant-based foods that can build muscle faster and stronger than eggs after age 60. To help us understand why Dr. Hinohara is here. Dr. Hinohara, you have said that relying on heavy meat for muscle is like using the wrong kind of fuel for a delicate machine.
Thank you, Dr. Ben. Yes, it is a matter of energy efficiency. I ask my patients to think of their body's recovery system, the system that rebuilds your muscles while you sleep, as a power plant. When you eat heavy animal proteins like steak, pork, or even too many eggs, it is like turning on a massive diesel generator. Yes, it is powerful. It creates a lot of energy, but it is loud. It vibrates the whole house. This is digestive stress. It gets very hot. This is inflammation. And most importantly, it produces thick black exhaust smoke. This is acid and nitrogen waste. When you run a diesel generator at night, your body cannot sleep deeply. It has to stay awake to clean up the smoke and cool down the engine. It spends all its energy cleaning instead of rebuilding your legs. But foods we will talk about today, the vegan superfoods, they are like a solar battery. They provide a steady, powerful stream of energy, but they are silent. They are cool, and they produce zero exhaust. When you switch to solar power at dinner, your body does not have to clean. It can focus 100% of its energy on repairing your muscle tissue.
That is the green energy protocol. We are not telling you to become a vegan forever. We are telling you that for the night shift when repair happens, clean beats strong. Today, we are going to reveal these 3 solar battery foods. They are affordable, they are delicious, and science shows they can reverse sarcopenia without the exhaust fumes of meat. We will break them down by the specific job they do: the steady power source for all-night energy, the clean material for hormone support, the reactor shield for protecting your energy factories. Before we plug in the first battery, we want to hear from you. Do you often feel heavy, bloated, or restless after a meat-heavy dinner? If you do, please just type heavy in the comments below. It helps us understand your experience. And if you are ready to switch off the diesel and turn on the solar now, is the perfect time to hit that subscribe button. Let's get started.
Welcome back. We have switched off the loud, smoky diesel generator heavy meat. The house is quiet, but we still need power. The biggest fear seniors have about eating plants for dinner is that they will be hungry again in an hour. They think plants are weak fuel. They think the lights will flicker and go out at 2:00 a.m. This is a myth. In fact, the opposite is true. When you eat simple carbs or sugary foods, the power spikes and then crashes. But we need a steady power source. We need a battery that releases a slow, consistent trickle charge of energy for 8 solid hours while you sleep. This keeps your muscle repair machinery running all night long.
That trickle charge is scientifically vital. It prevents something called nighttime hypoglycemia, low blood sugar. When your blood sugar drops at night, your body panics. It releases cortisol stress, and cortisol eats muscle. So if your fuel runs out at 3 a.m., your body starts eating your legs to keep the lights on. To stop this, we need mechanism 1, the steady power source. And the food that does this best is food 2, chickpeas, garbanzo beans. Chickpeas are a solar battery miracle. First, they are packed with protein, about 15 grams per cup. Second, and more importantly, they are wrapped in complex carbohydrates and fiber. This combination is magic. It means the sugar energy from the chickpea enters your blood very, very slowly. It provides that perfect steady drip of glucose that keeps your muscle-building hormones active all night without ever spiking your blood sugar.
This is the story of Evelyn, the 68-year-old from the opponent's video. She was getting leg cramps. She was weak. Why? Because her power was going out in the middle of the night. Her muscles were starving. She added a simple chickpea salad to her dinner, and within a month, she was walking twice as far. Why? Because her solar battery lasted until morning. Her muscles were fed all night long, not starved.
And there is a bonus. Chickpeas are also rich in magnesium. Magnesium is the relaxation mineral. It helps your muscles let go of tension, preventing those painful cramps that wake you up. So chickpeas give you steady energy to build and relaxation to recover. It is a perfect nighttime fuel. Compare that to a steak. A steak gives you protein, yes, but it has 0 carbs. It gives you no steady fuel for the brain. Your body has to work hard to convert that steak into energy. Chickpeas give the energy freely and cleanly.
So that is our first green energy source. But now, we need the building materials. We need the cleanest possible structure to replace the dirty meat. Welcome back. We have installed our steady power source, the chickpeas. The lights are on. The energy is flowing cleanly. Now we need the actual building materials. We need the bricks to repair the walls of your muscles. But remember our metaphor. We do not want dirty bricks, heavy meat that leave soot and smoke all over the factory. We need clean materials. We need protein that is easy to process, easy to absorb, and does not burden your kidneys with acid waste.
This brings us to mechanism 2, clean materials and hormone support. And the champion of this category is food 1, tofu. Now I know, some of you hear tofu and you think bland or weak, but biologically, tofu is a powerhouse. First, the cleanliness. Meat is high in purines and creates an acid load on your kidneys. Your body has to use calcium from your bones just to neutralize that acid. Tofu is a complete protein. It has all 9 essential amino acids, but it is neutral. It is gentle. It is pre-digested, especially if you get the fermented kind like tempeh, which is even better. It slides right into your system without the heavy lifting of digestion. Second, the hormone support. This is the secret weapon for seniors. Tofu is rich in isoflavones. As we age, our natural hormones like estrogen and testosterone decline. This decline is a major trigger for muscle loss sarcopenia. Isoflavones are plant compounds that gently mimic these hormones. They don't replace them, but they whisper to your cells, encouraging them to stay active and hold on to muscle mass. The opponent's video cited a 2022 study. Older adults consuming soy protein showed significant improvements in lower limb strength quadriceps. Why? Because they were getting the BRICS protein without the stress inflammation. Their bodies could focus on building, not fighting.
This reminds me of Robert, the 74-year-old patient mentioned in the research. He was eating crackers and cheese at night, empty calories plus inflammatory dairy. He swapped it for a warm tofu stir-fry. In 6 weeks, his knee stiffness was gone. His balance was better. He wasn't just building muscle. He was cooling down the inflammation in his joints while he fed his muscles. That is the power of clean material.
And let's address the heavy meat problem one more time. When you eat a heavy steak at 7:00 p.m., your body spends the next 4 to 6 hours digesting it. That means during the first half of your sleep, when you should be in deep sleep, your body's working. Your core temperature stays high. Your heart rate stays high. Tofu digests quickly and cleanly. By the time your head hits the pillow, the work is done. The repair can begin.
So we have the steady power chickpeas. We have the clean BRICS tofu. But there is one last component to our green energy plant. Every power plant needs a reactor shield. It needs something to protect the machinery from rusting out and breaking down. We love our Healthier Daily family, and it brings us great joy to see our community grow. We would be so grateful if you would tell us in the comments, what country or what state here in the U.S. are you watching from today? We read them all, and it inspires us. Welcome back. Let us look at our green energy plant so far. We have the steady power source chickpeas to keep the lights on all night. We have the clean building materials tofu to repair the walls without creating smoke. But now we face the most critical challenge of aging. Even if you have fuel and even if you have bricks, what happens if the machines themselves are broken? Inside your muscle cells, there are tiny engines called mitochondria. These are the reactors that turn food into strength. As we age, these reactors get dirty. They get covered in rust. This rust is oxidative stress. It is the main reason your muscles get smaller and weaker. They simply burn out.
That is the perfect description. And this brings us to mechanism 3, maintaining the reactor. We need a food that acts like a shield, a food that scrapes off the rust and protects those tiny engines so they can keep working. And the champion of this category is Food 3 black beans. Now you might be thinking black beans. They are just another bean. But look closer. Look at the color. That deep, dark, almost purple-black skin is the secret. It is packed with anthocyanins. These are the exact same powerful antioxidants found in blueberries. But here they are, wrapped around a high-protein, high-fiber package. The opponent's video mentioned a 2023 study in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition and Aging. This study found that seniors eating black beans had improved lower limb function and walking endurance. Why? Because those anthocyanins were shielding the reactor. They were neutralizing the free radicals, the rust that usually destroy muscle tissue. They were improving mitochondrial efficiency. That means your old engines were running like new engines again.
This is the difference between meat and plants. When you eat a heavy steak, especially char-grilled meat, you are often introducing more oxidative stress from compounds like Heme iron. You are adding more rust to the machine. When you eat black beans, you are delivering protein and the rust remover at the same time. You are feeding the muscle and protecting the muscle. It is a smart food.
And let's not forget the anti-inflammatory aspect. Sarcopenia muscle loss is driven by chronic inflammation. It is like a low-grade fire burning down your house. Black beans are one of the most potent anti-inflammatory foods in the pantry. By lowering that systemic inflammation before bed, you are creating a safe zone for your body to rebuild during the night. So let's look at the trio we have assembled for your dinner plate: chickpeas for steady trickle charge energy, tofu for clean hormones supporting bricks, black beans for the antioxidant shield that protects the machinery.
It is a complete system. The chickpea keeps the lights on. The tofu builds the walls. The black bean cleans the machines. But, Dr. Ben, I can hear the question our viewers are asking. This sounds wonderful, but am I supposed to just eat a bowl of plain beans? Won't I be missing something? Is it really enough protein compared to a steak?
That is the million-dollar question. And the answer lies in a simple ancient technique that turns these three humble foods into a super protein that is biologically stronger than meat. This is the advanced technique, and we are going to teach you exactly how to do it in the next section.
Welcome back. We have our three green energy sources: chickpeas, tofu, and black beans. But now, we must address the biggest fear seniors have about plant protein. They say, "But Dr. Hinohara, plants are weak. They are incomplete." Meat is the only complete protein. There is a grain of truth to this, but it is a solvable problem. Most plant proteins are indeed missing one or two of the essential amino acids, the bricks. If you only eat beans, you might be missing a few bricks for the wall.
But this is where we use the advanced technique. This is how you turn a weak battery into a power station. It is called protein combining or pairing. It is simple biology. What the bean is missing, an amino acid called methionine, the grain has in abundance. And what the grain is missing, an amino acid called lysine, the bean is packed with. When you eat them together on the same plate or even in the same day, they lock together like puzzle pieces. They instantly form a complete protein that is just as usable, just as powerful, and just as effective for muscle building as steak or eggs. But it comes without the inflammation, the acid load, or the saturated fat. It is super fuel.
This is the wisdom of the ancients. Every culture figured this out thousands of years ago. In Latin America, rice and black beans. In the Middle East, hummus, chickpeas, and pita bread. In Asia, tofu and rice.
So here is your power grid formula. Never eat your beans alone. Always connect the grid. Pair your black beans with brown rice. Pair your chickpeas with quinoa or whole grain toast. Pair your tofu with buckwheat noodles. When you do this, you are not settling for a lesser protein. You are creating a superior protein profile for a senior body. You are getting the full spectrum of amino acids for muscle, plus the fiber for gut health, plus the antioxidants for rust proofing, plus the clean burn for kidney safety.
This is how you get stronger while getting healthier. A steak builds muscle but stresses the kidneys. A connected grid meal builds muscle and protects the kidneys. For a 70-year-old body, this is not just a choice. It is the smarter engineering solution.
And there is one more connection to make. We must connect this fuel to the right time of day. We talked about night shift repair. These plant-based meals digest in about 2 to 3 hours. Meat takes 4 to 6 hours. If you eat this green power meal at 7:00 p.m. by 10:00 p.m., your stomach is empty and resting. Your blood sugar is stable thanks to the fiber. Your body can slip into deep sleep immediately with a full supply of amino acids ready to go. You are maximizing your repair window.
So we have the fuel, we have the bricks, we have the shield, and we have the connection. Now let us put it all together into a real practical dinner menu that you can cook tonight.